of showcase the new inventory system and the fabricator and the basics of how you use the fabricator, how you obtain blueprints, all that kind of stuff. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. With the inventory, we'll start there. So as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, this is your inventory location, just like it used to be on the same side. But obviously the icons and locations and the way you interact with it are a bit different. So instead of grabbing your armor and moving it to various storage locations, you actually have to grab the icon now. So this is your head slot, your face wear, whatever, glasses, whatever. Body, undersuit, arms, legs, backpack would be here. I don't have one on currently. These 4 empty slots would be for grenades if I had them. Keep in mind this is all heavy armor, so if you wore light or medium, this would affect how many slots you have for grenades and such. These are the ammo slots, of course heavy armor, so I got 8, and then 4 med pen slots because heavy legs. As far as it goes with interacting with this new layout, so like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just drag and drop things around as you want to move them. So you got your primary and secondary weapon slot, your sidearm or utility or multi-tool slot. If you have optics or barrel attachments or under barrel attachments, flashlights, laser pointers, you can simply drag them from your inventory to the gun you want to mount them on right here. No, you don't have to drag them to the actual physical gun anymore. In fact, I don't even think you can do that anymore. I think you must do it from the inventory. Currently right now I have all selected, so if I had a backpack on or if I had things in my body or in the legs, you would see them in here. And then of course you can select the torso or the legs, or like I said, if I had a backpack, you could single it out to just the backpack. Down below it's kind of the same. So these are your primary weapons, and then of course you have your gadgets tool or your gadgets section, which includes your knife, your like mining gadgets or things like that you might have equipped. I think flares go in that slot too, but I'm not 100% on that. I would actually have to test that. But yes, I mean that's about it really. If I go to looting view on myself, it's just going to bring up the standard window that we're all kind of used to seeing at this point. A couple things about the buttons. So these are all you can actually search, which is nice. Just click the search over here, and then of course the move all button, like it's just relocated, but it's the same thing. It'll move everything from local to a storage or from a storage to your local. And then you can do a broad search real quick by just selecting what you want to look for specifically, or just highlighting that entire category and it'll show all your armor or all your clothing. Or you can just highlight multiples at a time to see only those things. Turn that back off. And then pretty much what everybody's used to, containers. This is where your commodities and your loose containers would be, or your store all containers. Other is like furniture and anything of that nature that you might have on your person. And then of course mission items. This is the sort and stack button. So if you have items that are the same, you can easily sort them by just clicking this button here, or stack them I should say by clicking this button here. It'll stack anything that is the same. So if you have like drinks that are the same or ammo that is the same, it'll stack them all together in a nice neat little thing, and you don't have to try to manually click and drag them anymore. Of course, if your ammo has, like if you have various mags that have different amounts of ammo left over, it's not going to stack those. But anyways, that's all pretty self-explanatory, I think. I did want to do one thing. I am going to bring up a let me close this right quick. I'm going to bring up the elevator with a couple of storage boxes and show you some neat little tricks as for looting purposes and things like that. So we'll get that out of the way of the elevator so I can put this down. So what I'm going to show you is how to access boxes remotely, because you can do that now. And you can access multiple boxes remotely too, and I'll show that here in just a second. It doesn't matter whether it's your boxes or if it's loot boxes inside, pick a place, right? A QV station or a bunker or wherever. You'll be able to access all of those boxes remotely. I'll show you how that works. So pretty much everyone watching this video, if you have any amount of time in Star Citizen, you obviously know how we used to loot boxes such as this before, or any box really. You would approach it and you would get close enough to it and you just click F to open the storage, but not anymore. So if I just get close to these boxes and I hit I, It's going to open up, well, it only opened up the one. Oh no, it didn't open up all of them. So as you can see, as I select different boxes that are within range, they highlight. So that's the 4 SCU container in the back, this is the 2, and that's the 8. So if I had anything stored in those, I could just easily just transfer between all of them and move stuff into my inventory or from inventory to said boxes. That same effect works. Let's see if I can get them all in one go from like right here. No. But that same thing works when you're in any location. If you come up to a shelf, like in the new QV Rock Breaker station, some of those shelves have 3 or 4 boxes on them that are lootable. If you just walk up to the front of the shelf and hit I, you will get access to all 4 of those loot boxes at the same time. And you can just freely drag things over as you want to collect them. So it makes looting and things like that feel a little more seamless and not so manual, I suppose. That's about it for the inventory. If you do have any questions, things you'd like to know, maybe if you don't have Wave 1 and there's things you would like to know before it moves into Wave 2 or Wave 3 or Wave 4, just feel free to ask. Keep in mind these things could change slightly before 4.7 goes to live. I don't think anything in the inventory here is necessarily going to change. I think this is pretty solid at this point. But as it concerns the Fabricator, which I'm going to go into next, there could likely be some changes there, because there's already been some changes from the last Evo patch to Wave 1. So anyways, let's just go ahead and run through this. So to open it up, I'm just going to hit that open button. While that's doing its thing, I should mention that I haven't tested it since it went to Wave 1, but during Evo, if you had this crafting unit on a ship's grid, it did not function properly. You could not stack stuff on it. Like you see, I've got this FS9 just sitting there right now. You couldn't put things on it if the unit itself was on or floating on top of a ship's cargo grid. You have to remove it from the grid, whether it's actually snapped or not. It has to be removed from the grid and placed on, your hangar floor, or floating in space if you're crafting out in the middle of space somewhere, or on a planet or whatever. It just can't be on your ship's grid. Now, hopefully they're going to fix that or address that, but as of right now, that was how that worked. All right, so you open up the crafting station, and you can see here it's got a grid for 2 SCU. So 2 single SCU or 1 2 SCU container can sit up there and be sent into the machine for crafting purposes. Now, most of your recipes, if not all of them, we'll go ahead and take a look, are all going to utilize at minimum 2 ingredients. There are some that take more, I do believe. But the only time you ever have to worry about manually inserting the ingredients is if you're crafting away from any type of station. So when the fabricator itself is in a station, like in a hangar or near a station's storage device or storage area, you will gain access to whatever you have at that station. So this is a fresh patch tonight. The patch dropped about an hour and a half ago or so it wiped out all the stuff I had. All the blueprints I had, everything's gone. But you do start with some basic stuff, right? So you got like a field recon suit, helmets, and so on and so forth. So if I just click this field recon helmet, you can see that it takes Orotite and it takes Azlerite. If I had those in Levski, which is where I'm currently at, I would be able to add them from my local storage without needing to bring them up or put them in the machine or anything like that. You would just drag and drop them onto the slots they need to go, and you would hit the fabricate button, and then you can also select if you want the fabricated final product to go to your local inventory or the actual machine grid itself, and simply pull it out and move it or put it on or whatever you craft wherever you want it to go. Now, quality, as you can see here, this is greater than or equal to 500 quality. You cannot use any material that is less than 500 to craft anything. 500 is the baseline. Consider 500 to be, you bought an FS9 from the store, it's a 500 quality gun. Well, when we were in Evo doing testing, and again, I can't confirm if this was the case in Wave 1, but in Evo testing, when you would dismantle enemy gear from like a bunker, for example, bunker items or things like that, it would dismantle it to 600 quality. So that's something to consider. But 500 is your baseline. That I've heard that is the store-bought baseline. So when you get above that number, I spent way too much time talking about that. When you get above that number, you start gaining benefits on certain things. So let me pull up my notes, and I can tell you, I crafted an FS9. This was back during Evocati. Let's see, where are my notes? Sorry, I'm looking. Okay, so the FS9. I tell you what, let me just show you here. Go to blueprints. We can cancel that. All right, so back in Evocati, wow, they took a lot of stuff away from us. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. All right, so back in Evocati, we had more blueprints than this. We actually had FS9s, P6, the P6s, P4, a couple other things that we had as default, which I'm guessing, was for testing and purposes and things like that. But obviously I don't have an FS9 blueprint anymore. But to use the FS9 as an example, I crafted one in Evo, and it took Hephaestonite and it took aluminum. So I had 620, let me look at my notes, 672 aluminum quality and 996 Hephaestonite quality. And when I crafted that FS9, it came out with a 48 round per minute upgrade, so plus 48 rounds a minute. And it also came out with a 20% reduction of recoil, and there are 3 different recoil categories. Let me see if I can show you those by no, it's not going to let me click on the guns. Oh, it's not letting me click on anything. It's locked up. Let's back off of it. Try again. Let's go to guns. Click on that. So there are 3 different categories for recoil. You have kick, smoothness, and handling. It gave me a 20% reduction in recoil kick, a 20% increase in recoil smoothness, and a 20% handling bonus, I guess you call it. The spread did not change. The reload speed did not change. The fire rate, like I said, went up to 857 or 858 rounds per minute. And the impact force got adjusted by a positive 5% gain on impact, which I guess is flinching, right, for the sake of the game. I lost that gun, obviously, during the patch. Anything you craft, any materials you gather, any blueprints you've acquired, at least for this Wave 1 transition, didn't keep any of it. None of it's LTP, at least right now. I'm sure that'll change at some point in the future, but for right now, that's what we have to work with. Let's see. Not a whole lot else to talk to about crafting. So let's go ahead and go into dismantling. So I've got this vanilla FS9 just sitting here. It's nothing special. I think I bought it in Levski here. Actually, no, it was in my inventory when I logged in. I don't know if it's going to let me dismantle it because it was a inventory item. Oh man, this thing is messing up. Come on. There we go. All right, so it's going to let me dismantle it. All right, so they changed things. All right, so when I dismantle this FS9, I'm going to get lindenium, hephaestonite, and iron. That's interesting because when I crafted it, it was aluminum and hephaestonite only. But either way. So I'm going to go ahead and actually dismantle it and put it on the machine grid. It'll move it into the queue. What's that? 15 seconds total, I suppose. We'll let that finish right quick, and then I will open it up and show you what it looks like. It's going to come out, at least it should come out in 8th SCU containers of those 3 different resources. It's automatically ejecting. There we go. So now we got, oh wait, it did give me hephaestonite. Hephaestonite, iron, and lindenium. Okay. I guess they changed the recipe of the FS9. So everything I said earlier about Hephaestonite and aluminum apparently don't apply. Or the deconstruction is, or dismantling is different. I don't know. More to come. I'm sure this will change 5 or 6 times. But that's pretty much the Fabricator in a nutshell. So how do you obtain blueprints? Well, I don't know all the ways you obtain blueprints, but you do it mostly through missions. I can tell you that the mercenary missions, like CFP and Headhunter missions, especially in Pyro, they give blueprints. I've gotten a lot of blueprints from those. The mining missions give blueprints. Ship mining missions, the hand mining missions, all gave Aryl gear, so like the blue and white Grey Cat stuff. I also got some from the Onyx facilities, those missions. I got some from those. It was the what was it, I want to say adamantium, but that's not right. Antium armor blueprints from those. Of course, what blueprints you get from what will likely change too, so don't take what I'm saying for gospel, but it is possible to get blueprints from those. Last thing I'll say is, as far as blueprints go, it seems pretty random. I know Waka had mentioned that it's like a 25% chance, I think is what I read. But I mean, I've done 8 missions in a row and not gotten anything, so unless during those missions it was actually trying to reward me with the same thing I already had, then it's just not going to show that I got anything, which could be the case. But I'm not certain on that. But anyway, that's pretty much it as far as the inventory and the crafting and the blueprints are concerned. I'm trying to think if there was anything else to cover there. I talked about, so you can craft here, or you can craft in the middle of nowhere. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, obviously you have to provide the machine with the resources. So in that case, using the, you can no longer see inside there. Well, kind of. But if you're going to craft, outside of a hangar or outside of a station, you're going to want to make sure you have, in my opinion, the 1/8 SCU containers, unless you know you're only going to be crafting specific things that only require 2 ingredients. Then you can get away with 2 single 1 SCU containers of whatever that material might be. That's pretty much it, though. If you guys have questions, hey, post them in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see videos on during this Wave 1. I'm going to be on pretty much mostly tomorrow. I would be happy to hear from you guys and make some content based on what you'd like to see, or I can just answer your questions directly. So let me know. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing and throw that like button if you don't mind. It really helps a small channel like mine. But I appreciate you guys. See you around the verse.